Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm going to show you. This is a dinner idea. I use soup meat to make a dinner, a meal. So I'm going to show you how to brown stew soup meat, or how you can just use brown soup meat just to make like a stew beef meal. So you're going to need a stack of scallion or two, spring of thyme, 8 garlic cloves, piece of ginger, a tablespoon of salt, sea salt preferably, Scotch bonnet pepper, 1 Scotch bonnet pepper, ripe, pimento berries, about a teaspoon of pimento berries, dried, a small tomato, optional, half a teaspoon of browning, or a teaspoon, 1 medium-sized onion, a teaspoon of marjoram, a tablespoon of dried basil, a tablespoon of dried parsley, whole cloves, about 3 to 4 whole cloves, oregano, about half a teaspoon of oregano or quarter teaspoon. Oregano is very strong. Rosemary, a teaspoon of rosemary, and a quarter cup of coconut oil preferably. If you have a small chocha, you can use that. Turnip, half of a turnip, slice and dice. Slice the skin off and dice it. And a carrot. If you have a small carrot, you can use a carrot in it as well. I don't have any carrot, I'm not going to use carrot. I don't like carrot that much. And I'm going to spruce the taste up with some jerk seasoning, about a teaspoon, and a teaspoon of white vinegar. I'm going to use this pepper white vinegar. I don't have the soup meat right now. I'm going to the supermarket right now. I might take you. Alright, if you know me, you know how I operate already. So, 2 plates, 2 plates, we're going to add the seasoning twice. Once when it's pressuring, and the second time when it's stewing. So just remove this first layer. Scallion. Garlic. Best way to take this off is to smash it. Or mash it. Mash it. See how easy they come off. leaves are watery. This onion is strong. Thyme stick, pimento berry over here, over there. Alright, piece of ginger. Just kind of clean it, because I'm going to leave the skin on. Just leaving the skin on the ginger is a good source of mineral. Just rinse this off. Piece over here, piece over there. Herbs time now. This is marjoram. 1 teaspoon of marjoram. Teaspoon there. Rosemary. Grind it fine. Just grind it fine. Because if you don't, you're going to see these little sticks in here, and you don't want that. Dried basil. 1 tablespoon. Half over there, half over here. This is whole clove. So about 2 pieces over there, 2 pieces over here. Alright, this is dried parsley. I'm not going to use oregano. I don't like oregano that much. Oregano is too strong. Alright, this is dried parsley. Teaspoon over here, teaspoon over there. Salt. You can start with a teaspoon. I'm not cooking plenty. Alright, so add 1, add 2. I'm just going to put this aside for later. Just cover this and put this aside for later. I just got the name. The title of this video would be Soup Meat Stew. That's what I'm making for you today. Alright, this is my soup meat. It's my turnip. See, I don't like turnip that much, but turnip make a nice flavor meat really good, or nice, or nicely flavored meat. Turnip nicely flavored meat. If that's English, I don't know. So just use a small piece and dice it. This is a chocho. we're gonna pressure cook it. So put a pressure cooker to 8. Put the stove's gauge on 8 for now. If it's dry inside, you just add oil. If not, just wait a minute until it's dry and then add oil. Once it's dried, add oil. About less than quarter cup, half of quarter cup. This is soup meat. Soup meat now, I say, so when you go for soup meat, you should look for good pieces, good cuts, soup bones. See there, soup bones they call it. To me, this is better than the beef because you get this little is good for you. It's not fat, not the fat, you know. This is fat, but like this is good for you. You should eat it, the white part here. My grandmother told me about this thing. I always wonder why my grandmother loved beef, and I should eat a lot of beef, and she's still living up to this day. She's probably about 90. Cost efficient. This only cost me $150 Jamaican. Oh, for some of you guys who feel you have to rinse, you could just pour a little white vinegar on top, pour a little water, go in your garden somewhere and pour it, or pour it directly into the sink if you feel like you have to wash it, but it's not necessary. Just allow it to fry for a minute or 2. That was 1 pound. 1 pound of soup bones. After 3 minutes, add season 1. Cover it and let it stay for like 2 minutes. Now we're going to add the water, the browning and the water. The stove's gauge is on 6 all this time, medium high. After that, this is quarter teaspoon. And a quarter more, so half a teaspoon. added 3 cups of water. Add a little white vinegar, like a, you know, you're going to add a tablespoon, but add a teaspoon first and half of the pepper. Rub it properly. Make sure it's on properly. Once it starts to whistle, we're going to time it for 12 minutes building, and it's just 6 minutes since we put it on the cover. It's building. It's building. Alright, let's start. So put your timer for 12 minutes. 12, 14 minutes the most, but 12 minutes because these are chunks. Big chunks. And put your stove gauge on low. 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 I decided to let it go for the 13 minutes. So after the time, turn it off. Don't ever do this, just allow it to cool. It's cooled. It's just add season 2. The tomato is for flavoring. I'm trying to remember if I put salt in it, but I did. Dark sauce. It's a little bit. Turn the stove on. Put the stove gauge on medium low, which is 4 for me, 3 medium low, and just cover it and allow it to simmer. Add season 2. I'm gonna show you how tender it is. See the meat tender. So you want to get it. So between 12 and 15 minutes. I actually did this for 14 minutes. Alright, this is after 10 minutes. So that's how you want it. The stove gauge is on medium low, which is 4 for me for the 10 minutes so far. 10 minutes so far. Okay, this is 20 minutes. I'm kind of sleepy, so what I'm gonna do, and you can do this too, you know, it would be a good time to just turn it off if you're not ready to serve, and just put it aside until you're ready to cook again. I'm gonna take me about a 2-hour nap. In the meantime, it was just soak, and then, you know, soak the herbs with all the soak in the meat. Alright, I'm back. Just turn the fire on and let the heat build up. That was it. Cooling and soaking. If you took a break like I did, just turn the stove up. Once you get the heat going, then you just turn it back down to low. This is 10 minutes since we turned it back on, so in all it's 30 minutes. Boy, if you could smell it, if you could smell the aroma, smell. You can do several things here. Turn it down low and just let it simmer, or just keep it on the medium low where it's been all this time for, and just simmer. I am gonna add ketchup later, but if you don't like ketchup, you can just let it simmer and thicken and then finish. Alright, that's a total of 35 minutes. So we'll add the ketchup. Turn the stove's gauge on 8 high, medium high. Just to build the gravy. You won't build the gravy now. When it starts to stick to the bottom, that's a sign to say it's ready. That's 40 minutes. Sorry, that was 38 minutes. No, it's nearly 40 minutes. Still sticking. This is soup meat brown stewed. The smell is awesome. The aroma is not to die for, but awesome. See, it's sticking. See, stick, see. Alright, let's go. Rich beef gravy. Let's turn it off. Finish. So we pressure cooked the soup meat for 14 minutes, and then we cook it down for 42 minutes with seasoning. This rice and peas, I cooked it with plenty coconut milk and make it just boil down. I pressured the peas, but I just used plenty and just let it boil down, boil down, boil down, boil down, boil down until it reach a point where the rice it soak out. Then I cover it and steam it up to this. Soup meat brown stewed. Alright, my fork kinda messy. Nice way to enjoy beef without spending a lot of money. It's nice. This this is good. This is good to eat. Good for your joints. Good for your joints. This is good. It's not fat. And men, I really believe, it's just my belief, I could be wrong, my belief, and men, and probably women too, if you eat this, it put strength in your libido, I think. An old lady, not just my grandma. I remember about a year ago, an old lady was an elderly woman. Was doing the supermarket and she picked up the same soup that time I didn't even know anything. And she was saying how good this is. is mine. In other words, what I'm saying is that men, alright, when I did cold cod, the cold cod itself is the same thing like this. So I'm figuring we human being is the same thing. So where the blood rush in to get it erect, it's this sponge thing. It's not fat. So I'm saying if you eat it, it will make your urine more durable, stronger, you know, healthier, whatever. And I prefer to eat the soup meat than to eat the cow's cod. The cow's cod is disgusting. I mean, just the mere fact that my mind thinking that I'm eating a cow cod is like, oh, I don't want to eat it like that. But I can eat this, and you can too.